Hundreds of people crowded outside the courthouse cheered as the verdict came down, many of them chanting, "Justice for Travis Alexander." And only I spoke exclusively to Jodi Arias after she learned her fate. Arias could now face the death penalty, and moments after learning her verdict, she told me she prefers death over life. Because of her statement, she's been put on suicide watch by Sheriff Joe Arpaio. And here's some of what she had to say to me. A couple of minutes ago, you heard the verdict from the jury. What are your thoughts?
I think I just went blank. I don't know. I just feel overwhelmed.
Let's talk about today. And even in my interview with you 2 weeks ago, you had ample opportunities to apologize to Travis Alexander's family. And it doesn't seem like you did it today. Why didn't you apologize to them?
I did apologize to them in my allocution.
I never heard you say, "I'm sorry."
I don't think I used those two words, but I feel that I conveyed my remorse, and if I didn't adequately convey it, then I regret that, but
Do you want to do it now?
Well, there's nothing I can do to take back what I did. I wish that I could. I really, really wish that I could. I can never make up for what happened.
Do you want to say, "I'm sorry" right now to Travis Alexander's family?
Certainly. I'm definitely sorry.
What did you think of her? I mean, as you were there, I mean, did any sort of thought? I mean, the woman had just been convicted of first-degree murder, now going into a penalty phase, maybe an execution.
Right. Now, the whole thing makes me sad. I think I've said it on your show before. It's just, you know, Travis Alexander's life is gone. His family's turned upside down. Now Jodi Arias' family's turned upside down, and she's a waste of a life now if she gets the death penalty. I think she's ill. I think that she could be very pleasant, as she was when I spoke with her today, but obviously she has the ability to kill somebody in this in a horrible, horrible way. Glad you're here tonight. Welcome to Fox 10 News at 10 o'clock, coming live from Times Square in New York City. A lot going on here today. Super Bowl Boulevard opened up. Tens of thousands of people out here getting ready for the big game. And I also visited the 9/11 Memorial and found that a living part of that memorial will soon be living in Arizona. It's an interesting story. Now, we get the Super Bowl next year in the Valley, and there's been some grumbling from the leaders out in Glendale. And basically what they're saying is, how come we don't have any Super Bowl activities? How come Super Bowl Boulevard and Super Bowl Village in Phoenix, basically, and all the parties are in Scottsdale? We still have to pay for police and fire, but we're not making any of that tax revenue. So they're asking the state to help foot that bill. Well, Cardinals President Michael Bidwell, he's knocked heads with Glendale for a while now over this, and I asked him what he thinks about that move today.
They're just worried about Glendale, which isn't altogether a surprise, you know.
To kind of show you where this is, here's downtown here, and let's go ahead and zoom in. There's a hiking trail there called Telegraph Pass. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in 3D mode so we can kind of see the topography. So you can see very rugged terrain in the area. Right here is the hiking trail, and it goes like this. For some reason, this man was up in this area right here, right on the side of this mountain. So the decision was made that Phoenix Fire had to go in and get him out of there by helicopter. They couldn't bring him down by big wheel. Wayne Perch is here with me now, Phoenix firefighter. Thanks for being here, Wayne. I appreciate it. And you were the guy who actually got to this man who was hurt first. So what was it like? A high-impact raid to clean up a problem group of inmates. And this is no drill. This is the real thing.
Morning. Morning, sir.
And I'm being allowed to embed with them on this mission. So I'm going to bring you along. Time to move out. So we're heading down the stairs now, going to level 2. The inmates have no idea we're coming, and they're in for a big surprise. The idea is to go in, making a lot of noise, almost kind of a shock and awe type thing. As the team I'm with moves into place, a second team readies itself to enter the cell block from the opposite side. Stack it up, guys. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is like a kick in the stomach, isn't it? I mean, there are homes burned here, they'll be rebuilt. There's forests burned here, it's going to grow back. But the loss of life is staggering. 19 people, hotshot crews. These are young men and women in the prime of their lives doing a very dangerous job, and they all lost their lives doing it, protecting the town of Yarnell. You may not have even heard of it. And we watched the pilots train. The landing area here on the Reagan is 110 feet wide. There are 3 arresting cables stretched across that area the jet has to hit. This is 3, this is 2, and then one one's down here. The Jets try to hit number 2. Let's see how this guy does. Safety is first. Back to the scene of that terrible shooting. Dozens of officers still there tonight, while other officers and city leaders gather at the hospital where the second detective shot is still fighting for his life. So Joe Monier's at the hospital.
They hope for a full recovery, Troy.
Couple of points from the mayor. Number one, hold your loved ones a little bit tighter tonight. And number two, if you see a police officer, tell them thank you. I don't think that's such a bad idea at all.
That's right. This can happen to any of them at any given time.
Whoa! I've just been told that those white tips are the most dangerous sharks in here. I gotta keep my fingers close to my body, and I'm taking that advice. Like, what's this one right here?
Troy Hayden joins us right now with an explanation. How did you get this interview, Troy?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing all day long on my Twitter page and in person. Troy, how'd you get that interview? Well, it's something, first of all, I've been working on for more than 4 months.
Hi, Troy. Jody Arias. It's Sunday.
That's a part of the voicemail that clinched probably the biggest interview of my career. But this all started back in late January. I went to the Estrella Women's Jail to do a totally different story on what it's like inside. But while I was there, I learned that Jody Arias was housed in a maximum security pod right there in the tower section of the jail. I got access to that area through contacts. I took my photographer back there and I met Jody. At first, I talked to her through her cell door. Is it going the way you thought it was going to go, or? But later, we talked out in the open, off camera. And she told me some things she asked me to keep off the record. I said I'd do that. After about 45 minutes, as I got up to walk away, she shook my hand and said if I kept her comments off the record, she would give me an interview when the trial was over. A few days after the story aired, I sent Jody Arias a postcard, just like this, because that's all you can send to inmates in the jail. On it, I basically wrote, "Did you see the story? I think I kept my end of the deal, ... A week later, I was approached by this woman on the street. I didn't know who she was, but she walked up to me and said, "Troy, Jody got your postcard, and the deal is still on." It turns out that woman's name is Donovan, a close friend of Jody's who talks with her regularly. She's also the woman who tweeted for Jody, and that's how I broke the story that Jody was tweeting from behind bars. And a few days after that, I got this letter from the Estrella jail, and I'll read it to you. It says, "Troy, she got your postcard. Thank you for keeping your end of the deal. She will keep hers provided you keep yours through the rest of the trial and keep this correspondence confidential and off the record. Thanks. P.S. All her incoming mail is read by state, so please do not contact again until after verdict." And then, just this last weekend, on Sunday, I got this message left for me on my voicemail at work.
Hi, Troy. Jody Arias. It's Sunday. I just wanted to let you know, a deal is a deal kind of thing. So I regret saying that, but I'm a person of my word, so I'll keep our deal. But I also wanted to let you know if for some reason the jury comes back with first degree, to come down to the jail right away, because I'm not sure how things are going to go. So I sent the sheriff's office that voicemail. They knew Jody wanted to talk to me. They set things up on their end, and it was a first-degree verdict. Again, Jody said she would only do the interview directly after that. So I went straight to the courtroom where the verdict was read from the courtroom down to the holding cells below the court. Jody was waiting for me there. And now you know the story of how this story happened.